Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to provide an update on financial support provided to Bermuda businesses through the Bermuda Economic Development.
Mr. Premier, one sec. Your camera is on, but I think you need to adjust the item that's in front of your camera. Here you go. Yes.
My apologies, Mr. Speaker. Should I
No
begin
problem
again?
at all. We want to make sure we see that red and blue tie, see?
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Speaker. I have a different red and blue tie for every day leading up to cut match, and I'll
There
make
you
sure they're all on display, especially for those persons who, may be confused as to my affiliation due to some Photoshop pictures that are sneaking around the internet.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to provide an update on the financial support provided to Bermuda businesses through the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation since the declaration of the global pandemic. The BEDC is currently responsible for providing financial support and technical advice to small and medium-sized businesses, for overseeing the economic empowerment zones, for growing outside vendor markets, and for managing vendors and issuing vending licenses. The organization's key objective remains to assist the government in encouraging economic growth for Bermuda's local, small, and medium-sized businesses. By no stretch of the imagination has the last 16 months been easy for both Bermuda and the world. The pandemic has wrought havoc on all aspects of civil society, and Bermuda's businesses have not been spared. However, Mr. Speaker, in order to address the debilitating impacts of the global pandemic on Bermuda's local, small, and medium businesses, the BDC had no choice but to pivot significantly to expand both its financial products and its advisory services so that local businesses had the best chance of successfully managing the new normal. With support from the government of Bermuda, the BDC responded quickly and decisively with customized products and services aimed at helping businesses navigate the challenges presented by the impact of the coronavirus. As of today, the BEDC has deployed a total of $4.4 million in funding to local small and medium-sized businesses since the onset of the global pandemic, and I'll break down this financial support further. But before doing so, I think that it is important to provide an overview of the efforts of the BEDC since March 2020 in assisting our island's entrepreneurs and business owners. Mr. Speaker, on March 20th, 2020, the BEDC announced that it would reallocate funds from its budget and also modify its existing products and services to be able to provide local business owners with support during uncertain times with the onset of the pandemic. The raft of support mechanisms implemented were as follows. First, the BEDC reallocated $350,000 from its existing operations programs to its capital budget to increase its capitalization to $2 million. This allowed for, first, an increase to $1 million in direct lending funds to assist businesses, and an increase to $12 million for issuing loan guarantees for financing. Next, the BDC reallocated $100,000 from its existing budget to provide access to business to external expertise in accounting, legal, and marketing services, which supplemented the BDC's support and expertise to assist in right-sizing businesses once COVID-19 passes. Next, the BDC facilitated the creation of an ideas pool where businesses could write in with recommendations and suggestions on how public authorities and departments could assist them. Further, the BDC amended its payment terms to pay all vendors on a weekly basis to ensure they were not waiting for payments to facilitate better cash flow. Next, the BDC acted as an intermediary, connecting consumers, buyers with sellers, as businesses had underused inventory. The BDC facilitated businesses in forming partnerships, merging, sharing overhead with other businesses to reduce operating costs both during and once the COVID-19 pandemic passes. The BDC increased its microloan offering from $20,000 up to a maximum of $30,000 per business with no security required. New microloan clients received a decrease in interest rates by 1.5% to 3% and 3.5% for EEZ and non-EEZ businesses, respectively. The microloans were expanded to be used for both capital and working capital purposes. Further, all new and existing microloan clients have the option to restructure their loans for a 3 to 6 month interest-only repayment period based on need, then followed by principal and investment payments. Existing microloan clients have the option to extend their loan repayment terms from prior 9 to 24 months up to 42 months if needed, which reduce their monthly payment amounts once the principal and interest phase of their loans commence. Further, the BDC increased its guarantee to 75% from 65% of a bank loan up to a maximum of $300,000 as a result of the new increased capitalization of $2 million. The BDC allowed its guarantee to be applied for the first time against lending from other entities, such as could be seen with the partnership with the Bermuda Credit Union Co-op Society. The BDC immediately reduced application fees by 50% for all of its products. The BDC also immediately reduced its loan guarantee fees by 50%. The BDC decided to absorb the cost of credit checks, thereby eliminating this fee to the client. Entrepreneurs who operated seasonal businesses had the option to have recurring interest-only periods for the life of their microloans. All new approved microloans have the option to delay the first repayment date by 2 months to be on the last business day of the month 2 months after the month for which the first drawdown occurred. This applies to the interest-only option also. Further, the BDC increased the maximum credit line it guarantees for its letter of credit products to retailers from $10,000 to $12,500. The BDC significantly expanded its seminar and webinar programming as business needed access to business knowledge and best practice over the last 15 months to help right-size. The BDC offered all its seminars and webinars free of charge to all business owners and entrepreneurs who registered. And finally, registration fees for all BDC's multi-week courses were reduced by 50%. Mr. Speaker, I have taken the time to set out in careful detail the actions taken on behalf of small and medium-sized businesses and of the extensive work the BDC has and continues to do to support them. Additionally, the BDC also worked with the Ministry of Finance and other government departments to determine what other relief could be provided to support business owners through the pandemic. In April 2020, the BDC further expanded the assistance it was able to provide to Bermuda's local small and medium-sized businesses. Now the corporation has been able to complete a jurisdictional review of other countries' support to SMEs to help inform Bermuda support, complete a survey of local business needs, actively hold and participate in weekly webinars to assist local businesses and to connect them with each other, act as an intermediary between businesses and government departments for assistance and clarification when needed, continuing its Mind Your Own Business radio show on HN 89 to engage and to inform local businesses, restructure its loan guarantees for businesses who had bank financing as needed, restructure the current BDC direct microloans portfolio based on their needs, respond to thousands of requests in emails, phone calls, and social media platform of questions for advice and direction, engage in numerous meetings and negotiations with the 3 banks to firm up the new guaranteeing of overdrafts and progressing our shared concept of providing pre-approved lump sums of guarantees to financial institutions in order to cut processing times on business financing requests. Compile and distribute to local businesses a list of all government departments who offered COVID-19 relief and assistance. Compile and distribute to local businesses a list of all the banks' COVID-19 reliefs and assistance. Work with private sector entities such as the Bermuda Credit Union Co-op Society to develop additional financial products to support local, small, and medium-sized businesses to amplify what the BDC, the government, and the banks were providing. Mr. Speaker, through the Ministry of Finance's additional $12 million grant provided in 2020, the BDC's efforts to assist local, small, to medium-sized enterprises with funding shortfall needs increased dramatically. We were determined to be understanding and responsive as a government, and the additional grant support went a long way to assist local businesses survive over these last 16 months. The additional $12 million, supplemented by the BDC's $1 million in direct lending and $12 million in loan and overdraft guarantees, aligned the corporation to develop new and expanded financial products, including the creation of the COVID-19 Business Sustainability and Continuity Funding Program. The relief funding program consists of a portfolio of financing products for businesses to take advantage as follows. First, the BDC COVID-19 loan grant product. Next, the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation microloan product. Third, the BDC debt consolidation microloan product. Next, the BDC loan guarantee product. Fifth, the BDC overdraft guarantee product. And finally, the BDC COVID-19 emergency grant product. Over the last 16 months, the BDC has approved 255 applications, significantly outpacing approvals in a normal year, for a total of $4.36 million to assist our local small and medium businesses through a variety of financing options. The breakdown of the funding approved to date is as follows. 50 general debt consolidation microloans approved totaling $1.1 million in loan funds dispersed. 117 COVID-19 combined loans and grants approved totaling $2.4 million in funds dispersed. $1.1 million of this is the grant portion of this product, with the remaining $1.4 million being the loan portion. 5 loan guarantees have been approved, majority with the Bermuda Credit Union Co-op Society, totaling $289,000 in guarantee funds. 4 overdraft guarantees have been approved through the banks, totaling $152,000 in guaranteed funds. And finally, Mr. Speaker, 79 COVID-19 emergency grants have been approved, totaling $420,000 in grant funds dispersed. Mr. Speaker, the island's economic activity is expanding as a direct result of our effective management of the coronavirus. Local businesses will still require financial assistance, and the need has expanded from just surviving with funding for immediate overhead and working capital needs, as seen in the early days of the pandemic, to funding for pivoting, innovation, sustainability, and growth needs. As such, businesses will have access to the funds from the COVID-19 Business Sustainability and Continuity Funding Program, as is anticipated to at least further $3 to $4 million in financial support will be deployed by the end of this fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, let me close by expressing my thanks to the entire team of the BDC. The women and men working there have stayed true to their mission of doing all they can to assist small and medium-sized businesses. I must also recognize the able leadership of Ms. Erika Smith, who tirelessly champions the core values of the organization. The BDC team should be commended for their efforts, but ultimately the priority has been to save as many local businesses over this challenging 16 months as possible. Although much progress has been made to assist businesses, further support will be needed. Accordingly, I am pleased to advise this Honorable House and the public that the BDC will continue to provide COVID-19 funding support until March 31st, 2022. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.